What's up? I am back with another recap and review for Ladies Who List Atlanta, Season 1, Episode 9, The Reunion. This is part 2 of the reunion, and as always, I am Janice or Barb, whatever you prefer to call me. Just do not call me Janice or Barbara. So let's get right into it. So the host, still Tanika Ray. There's been a lot of criticism going around online about how she was as a host. I mean, what she's hosted a couple other things. I mean, wasn't really too mad at her so much as the host doesn't specifically come up with the question, well, at least on here, right? She doesn't specifically come up with those questions, right? Wasn't that from production and whoever else? So if we're blaming her for that, then we can't really be mad at her for that, I feel like. But how she was facilitating and guiding the discussion and the conversation, then yeah, I mean, she's responsible for that as the host. So, but I don't really have any bad things to say about her, and at the same time, I don't really have any good things to say about her as a host either. It just was what it was. But everyone still looks great, and we see a recap of the season's highlights. Wait, is this part 2? Y'all, I'm losing my mind. No. This was the one and final reunion. I'm losing my mind right now, y'all. But anyway, I just don't really understand why Robin to me was the only one that was dressed for a reunion. All the other women look cute, presentable, just as they did for the whole season, but Robin was the only one that really stepped it up a level, I want to say. But overall, sometimes these reunions and these first season looks and everything, sometimes, especially if we're talking about Real Housewives, y'all, can be a little thrifty, right? We'll go with that. So overall, everyone looked good, but it was interesting to see. But we start off with, intros and all that. And Kiana, she's not there. They address it, of course. We already know as the viewers that Kiana didn't quit the show. So it is what it is. And I really feel as though she could have benefited a lot. We could have benefited a lot from seeing her there and having her speak on all these things and whatnot. But that's her business, child. That's her business. And nobody really says anything negative about her, honestly. Tiffany, she says some kind words. Kira said a little bit of something, whatever. But we get a recap of the season's highlights. And we also find out that Tiffany, okay, girl. And I like Tiffany. I wasn't sure I was going to like her so much in the beginning, but I found myself seeing a lot of similarities between me and her throughout the season. And we find out she's closed with Cardi B and Angela Simmons, and the closing with Cardi B actually lasted 10 hours, and I was like, oh my gosh. So that was really cool, and that was on Christmas Eve. But Kira speaks on her business and, her celebrity clients and whatnot, and this is one thing that I'll say, I feel like Kira is definitely, and I feel like all of the women are about their business. They're good at what they do, obviously. And that is always super refreshing and something that I will always go up for. But Kira starts to say how she basically, if her clients, if they don't have the funds or whatever to do for their appraisals or for their closing fees and stuff like that, she will literally give a piece of her commission towards that. And I think that that's an amazing thing, because that is something, not really because we didn't have the money or anything like that. Not again, that's not even me bragging, but I'm just saying it wasn't because we didn't have the money, but our realtor actually did something like that. And I just think that that's a very commendable, kind thing, that some people can be selfless enough to want to see, someone else get into their dream home or whatever. That's a nice thing, especially if it's coming from a genuine place. So kudos to you. And I guess I didn't ever realize that Tiana was married to an NFL player. Is he retired or is he still in the NFL? I don't know. But she addresses the fact that he didn't put her on. Like, yes, she may have been in that neck of the woods because of him or whatever, but as far as building those relationships and networking, all that was her. So put some respect on Tiana's name. And before we know it, we are into this whole business fiasco meetup, you know, that whole thing. We're into that whole thing that went down, you know. And honestly, Robin asks a very, very, very valid question to Crystal. She's like, okay, so how didn't you know that Kiana had an issue with me? And I want to know too, because the whole time, the whole season, you were calling this woman your best friend and this, that, and other thing, going up for her. But in that same breath, it's like, okay, how is someone your best friend? How is someone your best friend, one, and you don't know that other person has an issue with them, which we all know is a lie, a bold-faced lie. You did know that those women, that Kiana had an issue with her. So how can you call somebody your best friend yet you let them go into a situation completely blind? One, that was strike one. And two, how are you so much best friends with someone and you don't know, you know, and I get it. We don't always disclose everything to other people. Some people like to just deal with their stuff on their own or just not show emotions or feelings or what they deem maybe as a weakness or anything like that. Got it. It's fine. But the way that she spoke on the fact that she did not know that Robin was still dealing with maybe some bouts of depression or some feelings of anxiety, or she was still going through some things with her mental health at that time. How the don't you know that as someone's best friend? Like, you just thought, oh, it's off behind her, she's good, she's fine, come on, get in the car, let's go, let's do whatever. Like, how didn't you know this? Ridiculous in my opinion. And Crystal even went on to say something about Robin clearly doesn't react well to being challenged. And it's like, no one reacts well to being continuously poked and prodded and antagonized about things that clearly Crystal's the type of person that, and I feel like a lot of the issues that I see with people these days, Crystal included, is that unless you deem something whatever way, like you have nothing for it. Meaning in this situation, since you didn't feel like you were in the wrong or that you could possibly be adding fuel to the fire or that she could be feeling some type of way and she's simply reacting to what is being thrown at her, then it's whatever to you. You don't see it. If you don't view it the same way, then it's just whatever to you. And I just don't understand that. And Tiana also said some great things as far as her never wanting to sit in a space and just sit there idly and watch somebody, whether they're in the wrong, whether they're right, wrong, or indifferent. She's not going to sit anywhere and just let multiple people just continuously getting on this person. And I think that that's a great thing. Like, Tiana. And I also was just confused, like, so Crystal, you have such a great this great friendship with Kiana, because she was just like, and I'm like, what? Like, whatever, man. So what is the foundation of y'all's friendship? Is it great because you guys have a similarity of having issues with Robin? Is that the foundation of y'all's friendship? I don't know. I'd like to know, y'all. But she finally acknowledges her use of the word triggered and finally wants to say that she was wrong and she shouldn't have said it so many times. Okay, whatever. And apparently she says that, but also we find out that she thought it was cool to do some not easily triggered merch and shirts and stuff like that. And it's just like, since she's always so business minded and whatnot, sometimes she can come off a little a little off color. And I'm just like, that's disgusting. Like, you don't care about any, like, that was never your best friend. You guys were never best friends. Mm-mm. And then, of course, we get on the subject of the wife and mom shaming, and Kira asked to say something because she's a peacemaker, apparently. And Robin, she was not happy. She was not here for it. She was like, no, because Kira just be coming from this holier than thou place, I feel like, and it's just like, girl, just stop. Just stop. Just be right here. You right here, just with the same with all of us. And we're not anybody who is far removed from being imperfect. Like, so please cut the antics. If you want to be that, that's fine, but like, don't try to come on here and amp it up to the 1000th degree. But Kara does disclose that apparently something that we didn't see, or I don't know, was that during that whole thing, Robin apparently asked her how many penises has she sucked, I guess, in reference to how she built up her career and stuff like that. And if that's the case, if that's really what was said, then, you know, I have to shame on you, Robin. Like, you should not have said that. That was not cool. But Kara needs to fully acknowledge as well that she was kind of being like ageist and inappropriate as well, the things that she was saying. Nobody's like, and Robin at this point is getting pissed. She snaps at Tanika, which I was kind of like, I don't want to expect anything more from Robin than I do the other women at all, but it's just like, I just want her to just not even give them that energy. And I again, she shouldn't have to tailor herself in any way to fit just based off of how these other women are acting or anything like that. But it's just like, that'll be the day when they're saying and doing whatever, and she could just be like, psh, and just completely looks past it. Because there was a lot of points in this reunion I felt like, like, especially if you know the truth, then just look past it, man. Because people are always going to disappoint you, and people are always going to say what they want and do what they want. So if you know the truth at the end of the day, don't even give it a second thought, look, anything like that. And I get it. These are supposed to be women and colleagues that you're trying to build relationships with and do business with and stuff like that. So I get how it can be frustrating, but you're so better off without even giving it the time or energy. I'm telling you. But like I said, she kind of snapped at Tanika at one point, and then Tiana was even trying to console her, and she was like, no. And I was just like, okay, girl. But she walks off the stage. Tiffany goes after her, and this was all because Kira said that apparently when she saw the first airing of this show, that she had a mental breakdown or whatever on Instagram Live, that she was having a meltdown on Instagram Live. And I'm just like, I get where she's coming from, and I get how you can be annoyed at someone and whatnot if they're painting, if they're speaking your quote unquote truth for you. Like, no, like, only I know what I was going through at that point. Like, you're not in my head. Like, so how can you speak for me and say that I was this way? Which, side note, because the same thing happened to me a couple days ago, where someone was trying to tell me that I was bothered or upset about something, and I'm like, no, I was not. Like, I can show you me being bothered and upset, but trust me, honey, that was not that. So I can get how that can be very, very annoying. But like I said before, just, especially you know how the person is, meaning Robin, you know how Kira is, so don't even give her your breath. And then this is when Crystal says, the once upon a time she knew that Robin suffered from depression, and Tiffany quickly gets her together, and I was like, yes, Tiffany, yes. And at this point, it's just like, I don't really know what all Crystal has dealt with, because her judgment on a lot of real life shit, I'm sorry, has been very poor. Like, her judgment on a lot of real things that are happening around her has just been like, she just be like taking shots in the dark on how she's gonna react to things. And I'm like, for a very intelligent, well-spoken, beautiful woman, it's just like very disheartening to see that her poor judgment on some of these things. I just don't like it, but whatever. So we get to the Crystal asking Kira to do business with her whole thing, and this is when Crystal thinks it's a great idea to talk about how she has beast DNA, because her father and his accomplishments, her mom and her accomplishments, her grandmother and her accomplishments. She just comes from a lineage of high achievers. Not taking that away from her at all, but for her, I guess, to think that that's just her only sole justification for a lot of stuff, it's just like, no, sis. And the other women didn't feel like that was justified either, because when Tanika turns to them and is like, oh, that's, that's good, right? That's applaud worthy, right? And they're like, no. And I was like, oh God, that's funny. That was funny. But of course, Kira defends Crystal and says she wasn't offended, that she was trying to collect her, but at the same time, she hasn't closed any of her closings with her. So we'll see if that continues. We'll see if she doesn't ever come back to her yet. We'll see. And they both agree that they're not friends. Whatever. Okay. On the subject of Black's excellence, Kira shares that she's been able to do a lot for her family. She took her mom on her first plane ride. And this is when she also discloses, as I said before, that she makes up that difference if her clients, she's been known to make up that difference if some of her clients cannot afford all of their closing costs and appraisals and whatnot. And I think that's great. And back to the subject of motherhood, we have a recap of everything that was spoken about as it pertains to that topic. And Tiana speaks about how grateful she is to be able to experience motherhood. And as she's doing so, Crystal gets emotional. So it's like, okay, let's redirect our energy and attention over here. Crystal, what's wrong? And once attention's on her, she discloses that, it's just the way that we speak on the topic. It's like, little do anyone knows that I've gone through a miscarriage myself. And it's just like, okay, yes, no, we did not know that. And like, I feel like, and this goes with anything, and I'm not a mother, so again, a lot of the things that mothers have to think about and do and that goes on in their heads does not exist in my world right now. Like, when I become a mother, hopefully one day I will have that switch go off in my head where I'm thinking about maybe a lot of the same things that other mothers are thinking about and doing and whatever. But as of right now, that's not my reality, and I'm accepting and I understand that. And just because I see other women over here to left and right of me speaking and just speaking highly and loving motherhood and whatever they're saying about it, I don't take offense by those things, because I know it's not coming from a place of I think I'm better and you're worse because of XYZ. Like, I don't personally feel like that. So I can only speak for me. And that just should tell you guys where I'm coming from with this. Like, that's the side of the fence that I'm on with it. But she's upset mainly about the I'm a mom, I have other things to worry about, and is basically again like saying, well, damn, like y'all could take a minute and think about how that would, I guess, affect other us around here as well. And it's just like, I see both sides of it. I see like, I definitely see that, but then on the other side I see like, hey, just because I'm talking about this doesn't mean I think of you any less, or I'm saying that I'm better or have more important, or my things are super so important. I'm just saying that these are the things that are important to me, and then you have things that are important to you, and I think everything should be fine just as long as one side of the coin doesn't think that they're better than the other side. Like, that's where I feel like the issues are derived from. That's just me. And I love how Tiffany broke it down, and she says that she understands because she's also been through a miscarriage, and she explains that she's just thinking about her kids 24/7. That's just how her mind works. And she even says how she was at work one day and her 15-year-old son was at home and he wasn't answering the phone, and she was just going through all these scenarios of like things that could possibly have gone wrong, and what was up. And again, that's when I was like, huh, that makes perfect sense. And I'm not a mother, so I don't have those thoughts. And things kind of end with Robin. She doesn't necessarily make another pitch about her business venture or whatever, but it's brought up again, and pretty much actually everybody says they're on board with collaborating with that, I think, right? So if we get a season 2, I'm eager to see if we actually stop speaking about this and make it happen. I don't know. I mean, I'm all for it. And any of the animosity in this season, I'm going to try not to bring it to the next season. I'm going to try to just always, with all my reviews, start off the seasons with a clean slate, y'all. I'm going to try, but we shall see. And honestly, that was it for this season of Ladies Who List Atlanta. I really, really enjoyed this show, and I really hope there's a part 2. I really, really do. But let me know, you guys, what you thought of my recap and review, and I will see you guys in the next one. Do not forget to like the video. Please comment, please comment, and please subscribe, share the video, and definitely turn on your post notifications because I will definitely be back. And yes, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.